What's up? So today we're going to be speaking and answering the question, are men and women monogamous? It's interesting because I made a video before saying that 3 to 5% of mammals on the planet are monogamous, and 3 to 5% is small as it is, but even in that 3 to 5%, they are not fully totally monogamous. They are what is called as socially monogamous, because even your little penguins and stuff, they engage in infidelity where it suits them and where it where it benefits them. So anyway, the question of this is, we're looking at this from a biological perspective in this video, at least. We're not saying, is someone mentally, financially, and so on, are they financially, emotionally non-monogamous and all of that. We're just saying, what is the biological setup of men and women? And that's it in this video, right? Yes, there are so many different aspects to this. Don't fast forward your thinking too much. Let's just stay on the biological facts. When we observe the scientific and biological conditions of a person, what does it show us and what conclusions can we take from that? As you see, I'm taking a very scientific and mature assessment of this. Many times what people will do is they will invite and open the floor to their emotions, so they're not able to see things for what they are in a realistic point of view, because they're thinking with their emotions, which of course isn't thinking. So let's talk about men, the biology of men. Well, the biological setup of men is that men are designed for polygamy, which is a man. Really, it's both actually. It's one person having multiple partners. But really, polygyny is when a man has multiple wives. But that is the setup of the man. If you said to the average man, if the average woman said to the average man, not these exceptions, the average man, hey, you can do whatever you want. And let's say it's a guy at least getting a decent amount of women. If you said, you can get with whoever you want with, I'm still going to stay loyal to you, I'm still going to love you, and so on, right? Most women would actually never say that if exclusivity is how they feel safe, because they already know what the answer is going to be. If you offer that to a man, generally he's going to take it, unless he's been indoctrinated by culture telling him he's more moral for not doing so, and if he's not religious. However, and we're going to get into that in another video, right? So I'm going to give you the balanced perspective of both, you know, if you want monogamy, what type of man to go for, and all of that stuff. But when we look at the biological setup, there's a reason why most men are going to take that deal. And I'll tell you why. Because he is more reproductively successful if he does so. So when you look at the biology of men, he makes 10 to 12 million sperm an hour, 24 over 200 million sperm in a day. Of course, we see there's a quantitative nature. We see there's many sperm going after the egg, which mimics in the club when many men go for a woman. And even when they get that woman, they still are going out there trying to get many. That's why many women complain, oh my God, I've been with this guy and he's still chasing other women, blah, blah, blah. I was just doing a TikTok live, and that was some of the questions women were asking. Oh, is it normal for a guy to be into you but still going after other women? Why is it that a woman... another question I got asked, why is it that a man will be with you and still get with other women? I said this because he's not biologically designed for one woman. So there's a quantitative nature to his biology. Even when a woman is in her infertile stages in the month, he is still producing those 10 million sperm in an hour. He's still producing it. Now, if he exercised his full capacity for options and all of that stuff, he could have 10 babies in a year. From the genetic perspective, from the perspective of the DNA, that would be a win, because he's procreated and ensured that he's spread his seed, which makes more of him. And the genes have this goal of making sure that we just live on, we live on, we live on. They just want immortality. Excuse me, they just want as many people, as many descendants as possible, because that is the goal of your biological machine. It's just trying to live on and recreate itself and ensure that it's passed down into the next generation. For a man, if he gets with multiple women, his reproductive success is increased because the more women he gets with, the more children he will have. This is pretty simple, which leads us into the biology of women. Well, the biology of women is not the case, because if she has, that's not the case, because if she has sex with 10 men, the next month, she doesn't have 10 babies. She actually still has 1 baby over the next 9 months, and she'll still be out of action after that baby is born, and she still wants to be out of action so that she can properly nurture the baby. And under natural conditions, what would have happened if she didn't have a man to help take care of her? She would have been more likely to, you know, not be here. Let's just say that. Now, let's stick to the biological part rather than evolutionary psychology just for now. She has 1 womb. She doesn't have multiple wombs. God didn't, he could have designed it in a way where you have 2 wombs. He didn't do that, right? There is 1 womb, 1. And when that womb is monopolized, it is monopolized for the next 12 months, as I've just said. There is a few days out of the month where she is at the height of her fertility. Outside of that, well, she's not fertile, right? But all the while this is happening, a man is still producing sperm and can reproduce himself. So what does this point to? Well, this points to a hypergamous, what this creates is a hypergamous selective nature in women, because what they want is, because they're not focused on quantity, they're focused on quality. So what happens is they want the best choice. They want the best choice for themselves. They want to pick the best option, the best guy, the one who ensures the most survival. That's why they want the guy with most resources and so on. She is hypergamous. And is she totally monogamous? I would actually say from many perspectives, no. When a man activates the hypergamous nature of a woman, he activates her monogamy. However, there's a different strategy that she can do. Now, I would say this. While a man is built polygamous, a woman in many ways is set up to either be polyamorous in some respects or monogamous. So if the man activates her hypergamous nature, he's everything she needs. She looks at him and goes, he's amazing, perfect, both sides, security and attractive, she'll be monogamous. However, if she cannot do that, what she will do is she will get with the guy who gives her the best genes, the attractive guy, the alpha guy. Let's say that's a woman having a celebrity crush. She'll go ahead, get smashed by the celebrity crush, get smashed by the DJ, get smashed by the guy that represents, you know, the top quality guy, and then she'll go back to the average men, right? The average men, so that she can get looked after. So that literally is, for example, her going out, getting pregnant by another man and having another man raise it. This is how deep it goes. This is what we learned in that book, Sperm Wars, right? I did a review on that. So there's this hypergamous, monogamous / polyamorous / monogamish, like open type of behavior that she has going on if the man isn't the best option for her. And that's what hypergamy creates. But her biology is not designed for multiple guys. It's just that her I guess you could say that is actually more of the psychological aspect of things rather than just the biology. But again, when we stick to the biology, she is definitely created to be monogamous. She can only have 1 man's child at a time. There isn't really an argument to this. Sometimes people want to have an argument to facts, but that is a fact. You can only have 1 man's child at a time. And then someone will come in and say, no, but in the 0.00001% chance that this could happen, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about generally the average setup and what things are intended to be by nature. So in conclusion, the biology of men is polygamous. And although, let me just say it, the biology of men is that he is set up genetically to be polygamous. The biology of women is set up to be monogamous. We're going to go more into what this means for relationships, so don't panic, because some of you guys listen to this stuff and everything I've told is just a lie, and in many ways it is a lie. But don't worry, we're going to get into this, how it, you know, what you have to understand and whatnot, because you not understanding and accepting this information is where many of you are getting cheated on on both sides, actually, for men and women, why you're being deceived and why you're being played and manipulated in relationships because you don't understand this information. So don't worry, we're going to get into it. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment down below the shock that you got if you did, and if you already knew because you're mature. Also comment down that below too. So see you in the next video. Peace.